Asking, what would you have done in Amanda Cooper's situation? Say if your next fight, your opponent, Joanna or Ronda, comes in 7 pounds over.
I would take the fight, but I would ask for more than 30%. I'd ask for like 50%, something like that. I would be upset because, 7 pounds is almost like a slap in the face. It's pretty bad. And you would know this a day or 2 days ago. So for this to happen the day of the weigh-in is very disrespectful, I believe. And I would probably still accept the fight because you train a whole camp. You don't want to give that up because someone missed weight. You take the fight, but you should get compensated for that, I believe.
I'd completely agree. I definitely probably want Elise her show money. And I don't know, it'd be very disrespectful. And she's barely making, the flyweight weight there. And I'd say the UFC would probably should make her go to the next weight class and not allow her to fight strawweight again, especially because outside the UFC she had trouble making 15 plenty of times. So I think at this level of the sport, you got to try. I feel like at 123 you really didn't try that much.
As a professional,
She didn't look depleted to me. I felt like she had more in her. You see when fighters are sucked
when
in.
they try. That she probably gave up in the middle of the weight cut and was just like, I'm just gonna go. Maybe I'll float 7 pounds overnight. I really don't know. That's ridiculous.
In a sense, do you think she was a bit kind of gaming the system, knowing that Cooper has to take the fight, or is this it's a very odd situation.
I feel like Cooper's a natural 125er. She fought at 125 before. I don't know if maybe she's natural, but she has competed at 125. If Mackenzie knew she was going to miss weight, they should have just done the fight at 25. The division exists now. It's not like it's unheard of. It would have been an easy go, but to do that, to disrespect someone like that, I think that's a little too much.
And I think a lot of us are just weighing in the fact that it was a really quick turnaround. I guess it was less than 2 months. Everything is kind of a factor when it comes to just that time frame when you have to do your entire preparation and the cut. But how difficult is that? If you've ever had these quick turnarounds, just to maintain the weight.
For me, it's pretty easy. I walk super low. I walk at 121 pounds. But for the girls who know that they have to cut 20, 30 pounds, they shouldn't accept the fight. If you know you can't make the weight in time, then don't accept the fight and wait longer. It's not fair to these girls who can actually come here and make the weight. And I know Amanda Bobby Cooper cuts a lot of weight herself, so she worked hard to get down to 116. It didn't come easy, so it shouldn't be given to what's her name? Mackenzie. It shouldn't be given to Mackenzie to be allowed to weigh in that much over. And for me, I didn't even think the commission allowed you to be that far apart in weight. But at the end of the day, I'd take the fight and I'd want to go in there and still smash her even more.
Yeah. I've had a quick turnaround at 125. I fought 10 days apart. And, I just managed myself knowing that I was fighting 10 days apart. I've turned down fights at 115 before knowing I didn't have enough time to make 115. So it's not something that, she was aware of the fight a while ago and she knew she wanted a quick turnaround. So there really is no excuse. I've made 115 from 140 on 4-week notice. So it's whether you try or you don't try, I wouldn't accept the fight if I knew I couldn't do it. And I've done it before in my natural weight class on a 10-day turnaround. So there's really no excuse, none.
What does this situation say about for you about Mackenzie as a fighter? She's a newcomer in the UFC. She has a lot of hype. Do you buy this hype, or do you girls think that these kind of situations tells the story?
I don't think her weight cut thing has to do anything with the degree at which I think she is as a fighter. I think she's a great jiu-jitsu athlete. As an MMA fighter, do I think she's at the top of the roster? Not at all. I think once she hits some real competition, her hype will go away. And I think that happens with a lot of the girls, that they, hype right away. Castillo, that happened with her until she fought some real good competition. She went away. Paige as well. But, they like names. It's about entertaining people. And unfortunately, those who might have the talent, it sometimes go unnoticed because they don't have that hype behind them or, that background. But like I said, I think she's a great jiu-jitsu person. I think she hopefully they'll allow her to work her way up in the rankings, but I don't think she's anywhere near the top.
Yeah, I totally agree with Tecia. I also feel like being someone that's favorited so much is almost a curse in the UFC, so I would prefer not to be. But, they need a star, They're losing their stars every here and there. Connor's not there anymore. Ronda's not there anymore. They need someone or something to, and they thought maybe it was in this girl, and it could be, but let her prove it, Don't just throw her in there and be like, she's this, and put her on a main card pay-per-view, her second fight, when her last fight wasn't that beautiful, so to me, I'm not jealous. I know it's an entertainment sport. I know very well how the sport works, especially being Amanda's girlfriend. I know how she's been treated, so it's no surprise to me, but it is what it is. Good for her, but hopefully she fixes things here to live up to the hype.
Changing subjects a bit. Just this dynamic is really interesting right here. Is this just because of the situation, or you're going to be cornering against each other? Your significant others are fighting at the highest level for the belt tomorrow. When does that angry we have to win type of kind of come out of you? Because right now you guys are taking pictures together, hanging out, and that's just not very rarely seen in this sport.
The thing is that we both competed in martial arts our entire life. I started Taekwondo when I was 5. I think she was 5 years old as well. I would drive to competition and compete against my brother, who was sitting in the car with me, and then drive back home with him. So for me, that's what it is. I would fight my brother. So I don't have this thing like, it's a job. We all train very hard, and Tecia and I aren't fighting each other, and there's a possibility that one day we might fight each other, but this is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and be mad or sad. Of course, we're both in a relationship with both of the girls that are fighting for the main event, and both of our lives are important based on a championship belt and not. The UFC has 2 different levels to the game. It's a champion and it's not a champion, and it's a big lifestyle change. And we've always wanted the best for each other, but we're never gonna sit here and be like trash talk like she's gonna knock her out. They're both ready for the fight. They both know each other has. There's no secrets anymore. There's film all over the place, and the best woman's gonna win that night. And that's the end of it. For me,
Yeah, at the end of the day, business in that octagon. It's just for Kellen and Amanda in there, and they're both going to go to work, and whatever happens, happens. But outside of it, we're able to be friends, there's no animosity, and, of course we both want, our significant others to win, but, my friendship will always be there with her, whether... And even when I fight her, if we fight each other one day for the title, I would hope it'd be for only the title. Yeah.
What it would be.
But it's so much more than that. There's only one person who can be that, that first place, that championship, and at the end of the day, like she said, the best girl will win.
For the record, I think it's awesome. It's entirely unique, and yeah.
With that said, we have been giving each other space each and every time we've seen each other closer and closer, we're giving each other space. But when we're together right now, obviously Amanda and Raquel aren't here right now. I wouldn't want to be all talky because we respect that. They're in their zones and they're ready to do work tomorrow night.